To be honest with you, social media has blown up the space, and it has changed the landscape of how we find beauty professionals, right? So years ago, I would do maybe a Google search, or maybe I would drive around my hometown and find salons nearby. But now we're discovering beauty professionals on social, on Instagram, on TikTok. I started building Readyhubb, and Readyhubb is a marketplace for beauty professionals. So you as a client can come to Readyhubb and discover beauty professionals in your city. And then for professionals, Readyhubb is an amazing place where you can list your business and get discovered by clients. You can build a stable income doing what you love, and you don't have to worry about, the constant having to post content to be seen, or having to kind of be part of this popularity contest that is on Instagram and social nowadays, where it's really the people who have the most followers that are booked and busy, because they're the ones that are getting pushed out, right? But there are a lot of people that are trying to build their business, and they don't always want to rely on just social, right? So Readyhubb is that answer to that problem.
I love what the app is doing too, because just amongst beauty professionals, we all know that we suck at business. Like, that's just like a common conversation that we all have. It's like, we are very creative people. We know how to do hair, we know how to do nails and makeup, but when it comes to that business side and keeping those invoices and the money together, is normally very it's terrible. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't see the type of growth and sustain their businesses the way that they want, or they're experiencing tons of burnout, is because, of course, we're trying to do everything, but they just don't have the systems in place to really do those things. But using apps like Readyhubb, where all of those things are kind of built in for you, it just takes it takes the stress off, and it helps a lot for beauty professionals, for sure.
Social media and Instagram followers doesn't translate to good service, right? And people are becoming more aware of that. Is like, just because you have a following doesn't mean I'm going to get what I'm trying to book. And with Readyhubb, what we want to do is spotlight the people that do amazing work, and spotlight beauty professionals based on merit, right? So that people can be seen, and it's not just about your followers. Followers is great, and that's an amazing thing to achieve. And yes, building your personal brand, I can never discount that. It has a lot of merit in this day and age, right? To have, socials that you can attract followers and people can follow your personal brand, but you don't just want to rely on social media for your business, right? TikTok could go anywhere, any day, right? And how do you engage with your clients outside of social? That's important.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode, I have the pleasure of having Chidi Ashley in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. So Chidi is the founder of Readyhubb, which is a marketplace and booking site designed to connect beauty professionals to clients in their city, and they create a better booking experience for beauty appointments. She is also the founder of Lux Tribes, which is a luxury travel agency that plans stress-free vacations and group travel, so that, when you're finished booking all your clients, finished being booked and busy on the Readyhubb app, then you can go ahead and book you a luxury vacation as well. So I'm excited to dive all up into it. Let's go ahead and welcome you to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Chidi.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you guys today.
Yes, I'm so excited too, because beauty and travel, like, she just encompasses everything that is just my vibe. So super excited to talk to you all about it. But before we dive into it, we're going to start off with some icebreakers just to get us warmed up. And so I always say, so the Friends of Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do professionally. So the first one, just give us 3 random facts about you.
Okay, 3 random facts. Well, I used to live in Bali, so I quit my corporate job in New York and moved to Bali based on a YouTube video that I had watched. So I watched a YouTube video, and a month later, I had packed it up and moved out of New York and lived in Bali. That's one. Two, I mean, I just got married. So I got married last year in Lake Como.
Hmm.
Um, what else? I've been to over 40 different countries. So most of them are travel related, but yeah, those are my icebreakers.
That is so cool. Living in Bali, oh my gosh, like I'm like that close because I saw a video myself of this guy on Instagram. She like showing how much he pays to like live there with like food and stay and like all of the things. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why am I here?
Now, Bali is amazing. It's super affordable. The lifestyle is perfect. I mean, I didn't have to wear like proper shoes for like the years that I lived there. I
Yeah.
didn't even own like a proper wallet or a handbag. I was just living like such a decluttered life, and it
Yeah.
was absolutely amazing.
That sounds awesome. I'm trying to be like you one day and I just want to live out the country just for a little bit, just to see, what it's like. And then if I decide to come back, then yeah, we'll
Or you
see.
might not. You might not as well. So that was me. I was like, let me just like take the plunge and go do it. And
Yeah.
I started with Bali. Now I currently live in Dubai. But once you leave, it's very difficult to come back.
Did you have your baby in Dubai?
Yes, I did actually. I did.
I heard it's like top tier service having a baby over there.
Dubai all around is just impeccable service. The people here are amazing. And yeah, the hospital experience overall was just so nice. We had like, it's just VIP. Even the basic stuff is
Yeah.
just elevated. And I really love that about Dubai.
Dang. Okay, Chidi. Yes, you my inspo now. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from what you do professionally?
I'm that girl that loves to be organized. So I like to plan ahead. I like to know what we're doing, and I always get compliments about that. Just if you're someone who wants to just sit down and talk about the future, how to get where you're going,
Hmm.
or just kind of, I'm that friend that like has an itinerary planned out, has restaurant recommendations on deck. That's me.
Okay, love it, love it. When is the last time you did something for the first time? Like, have you had any new experiences?
I mean, this year, just kind of plunging myself into motherhood, that was, something I feel like I'm in a whole new world,
Yeah,
with this motherhood journey, also being an entrepreneur, running two businesses. It's definitely such a big change for me. And
yeah.
it's something that I'm kind of, adjusting to and really kind of finding my stride.
Yes, I love it. Do you have any, I call them mini wins or milestones that lead up to a bigger goal? Do you have any mini wins for the year so far that are like leading up to something bigger?
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of building this company, building Ready Hub, that has been so many mini milestones. I mean, when you talk about the effort that it takes to build a tech company, you have to take everything day by day. And so I have had to kind of say, okay, we know where we're going, but really celebrating the day-to-day wins. I mean, we started this app over, a year ago, a little over a year ago, we had what, like 10 users, then 50 users, then
Right.
10,000 users. So being able to just celebrate, because sometimes it feels like you're doing all these things and you don't see yourself moving the needle in the
Right.
moment until you
Mm-hmm.
step back and you're like, oh my God, like what have I accomplished? So
Right.
that for me has just been a learning experience this year of just like take a step and acknowledge how far you've come. And I'm
Absolutely.
just practicing that more and more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with all of those things because it's so easy to get caught up in just the everyday life and be like, I'm not doing anything. Like, why isn't anything happening? Then when you
Right.
take inventory of what has happened and you like, I really did make some strides. I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you weren't the founder of Ready Hub or Lux Tribes, is there anything else you could see yourself doing?
Oh my gosh. Judging by the amount of criminal shows and crime scene investigation stuff that I'm always watching, I feel like in my other life, I could literally be like a, what's it called? Like a CSI. I could
Yeah.
be like an investigator. I love anything that has to do with crime and, forensics and so on. So I think that would probably be like my next life, what I would do as a career path.
I could see us being friends, Chitty. I feel so guilty for being like a true crime fan. Like I feel guilty
Right.
about it, but I really love the investigative side of it. Like I can see I'm an investigator at heart. Like people like, how'd you find that out? Like
Right.
you don't worry.
Exactly.
I could be a detective, but I
Yeah,
love.
you're a problem solver. If you like that type of stuff, like I really love, especially when they show you kind of how they, get to they uncover the crime and
Right.
how they narrow down the suspects. And I love watching stuff like that.
Oh, me too. Okay, okay. Well, that was the last one for the icebreaker, so we could like really dive in at like chat now. But I did want to say like congratulations again because I was looking at your page and it just seems like you've had this big like I don't know, a lot is happening for you like personally like right now with the baby and getting married and building your businesses. So I just wanted to say congratulations first to you because from the outside looking in, it looks like life is going really well for you right now.
No, it is. It is. I mean, I'm super blessed. Getting married in my dream destination. I couldn't have imagined a more perfect wedding, and then a year later being blessed with a beautiful child. So it's been so much. I feel like I'm adulting to the max right now. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm still I feel like that inner baby girl is still there.
Yeah.
So just balancing adulthood and everything that's coming with it, and then balancing being a business owner is definitely a challenge, but I'm finding it super exciting.
Yeah, that's super cool. So why is it that you think it's hard for people to find and book beauty professionals in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, social media has blown up the space, and it has changed the landscape of how we find beauty professionals, right? So years ago, I would do maybe a Google search, or maybe I would drive around my hometown and find salons nearby. But
Yeah.
now we're discovering beauty professionals on social, on Instagram, on TikTok. And that has been incredible. And it's helped a lot of beauty professionals become entrepreneurs, right? But it's
Hmm.
also made it more difficult to sift through the noise of social, right?
Yeah.
We are constantly almost bombarded with so much content. And if you're online, you kind of have to like declutter and try to find what you're looking for. And that can be difficult. And
Hmm.
when you think about Instagram and TikTok as well, it's not necessarily location-based search. You're
Right.
just seeing kind of the most popular content, and it might not always be relevant to you and where you're based.
Hmm.
So that I feel like is one aspect of it where, are you seeing content that is relevant, and then also the noise of the content? And then, on the other side, a lot of beauty professionals are becoming entrepreneurs, which is so amazing. But then that comes with its own stress of trying to gain clients, trying to manage your business. And so that space is really, really changing. And it's so exciting to see how we can continue to grow with the beauty professionals in that space.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And then I always tell people like if you're not in a specific industry, then you really don't know what goes on into that industry. So for
Right.
me as a beauty professional, I'm a makeup artist. For me, I would in my head, I'm thinking like, how hard could it be to find another makeup artist that, could
Right.
because I just did one of my clients' makeup for her friend's wedding. But all of the bridesmaids booked not even booked their own makeup artist. They all had their own personal makeup artist that they were just like, oh, come do my makeup. So in my head, I'm just like, oh, we're everywhere. But to that point of just like on social media, everything is kind of just thrown at you. It's not location based. And I understand like, okay, maybe it is a little bit harder to find who you're looking for.
I used to use Instagram hashtags. So
Yeah.
I'm an Instagram hashtag girly. And I would like sift through like, the Atlanta MUA or the NYC braider and
Yeah.
then try to find someone. But that was also very time consuming, and then sometimes when you do find someone, you're not sure, right? You're trying to find reviews or, you're trying to find recommendations. So all you have to go by is the content. And a lot of times that content is so amazing. You want to connect with that beauty professional. So that's what I was doing before, was just trying to rely on the hashtags or maybe like posting a story. But
Yeah.
again, it's also informal. And also on the other hand, for beauty professionals, you don't have the income stability that you might want when you're relying on social media for your business, right? And so it's not like when, if you have a larger style business, maybe you have someone who's dedicated to marketing, you have other people who are helping you run the different aspects of your business. But if you are a solopreneur, you are literally doing everything. You're trying to provide your services, you're trying to post content. And let me tell you, it is difficult to keep up with content nowadays. Like TikTok is like post every single day. Like who has time for all of that,
Yeah.
So, and it's almost like if you don't post, you're not seen. And if you're not, active, then you don't exist. And that's a little bit crazy to me.
It is. It is. And then with especially Instagram changing now where people aren't necessarily using hashtags anymore. Apparently hashtags are dead on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like people are using keywords now. It's just the whole landscape is just changing. So we're glad to have places like ReadyHub. You had to tell us about ReadyHub in general.
Of course, of course. So, coming from that problem that I mentioned of having troubles finding beauty professionals, I started building ReadyHub, and ReadyHub is a marketplace for beauty professionals. So you as a client can come to ReadyHub and discover beauty professionals in your city. And then for professionals, ReadyHub is an amazing place where you can list your business and get discovered by clients. You can build a stable income doing what you love, and you don't have to worry about, the constant having to post content to be seen or having to kind of be part of this popularity contest that is on Instagram and social nowadays, where it's really the people who have the most followers that are booked and busy, because they're the ones that are getting pushed out, right? But there are a lot of people that are trying to build their business and they don't always want to rely on just social, right? So ReadyHub is that answer to that problem where you can, post your business, get discovered, build an income, and you can also manage your business with ReadyHub. So, we have amazing features like being able to automate your messages, being able to chat with your clients directly from the app, everything from your calendar management to managing payments to consent forms, discount codes. So lots of different features. And really our goal is to be the all-in-one app where you can manage your business on the go.
Yes, that sounds fantastic. Oh my gosh, there's so many different apps and stuff out here now, but I don't think they do all of those things. I feel like a lot of people were kind of using a combination of several apps to get those features all in one, but it's a one-stop shop with ReadyHub. I like that.
Exactly. Like we want you to think of ReadyHub as like your personal assistant, right? You are already doing a lot. Like you're providing your service. If you're a hair braider, you're on your feet for hours at a time. But clients expect you to kind of like respond to their messages. Clients want you to show up. And it's almost like, how do I show up for everyone and, provide that customer support and also provide my best self to the person that's in my chair? And the goal of ReadyHub is let us take the stress off of everything else that you've got going on so you can just show up as your best self to whoever is in front of you. And so that's really where we're going. And there's a lot more things that's coming on the app and we're building every day. And one thing I really enjoy is talking to beauty professionals, like hearing what they have going on and like trying to come up with the solutions for that. And a lot of our professionals, they'll chat with us and like 2 or 3 weeks later, there's a new feature on the app. And I love that feeling for them when they're like, oh, actually, like they do listen to me, and we're one of the only booking sites for beauty professionals where you can actually talk to real people anytime. Like text us, call us, we want to hear from you. And that's really exciting because we're constantly having conversations about what everyone has going on and then building to help.
Yeah. As someone who's not a beauty professional, what was it that ultimately was like, okay, enough is enough. I need to create a solution. Like, what was going on in your world that was like, I need to create a solution for this because I can't take it anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching a YouTube video and she was talking about how stressful it is with, just the current climate with beauty professionals and the kind of, it almost feels like there's a disconnect with clients and with beauty professionals, right?
Yeah.
Like beauty professionals have their own thing going on, and then clients are also, wanting, are demanding a certain type of service and certain type experience, right? And so I was just like, why is everyone having this issue? If you go to TikTok, if you go to Instagram, or if you're just having conversations with people, everyone has some sort of horror story, booking beauty. And it shouldn't be that way, especially as a Black woman. Like, I know, like, I'm getting my hair done every month and I don't want to have a stressful experience every single time. And also traveling, right? So I used to travel a lot, and every time I was in a different city, I would be trying to find someone who can braid my hair or do my lashes.
Gotcha.
And I would find myself just trying to get recommendations or trying to sift through social. And I was like, there has to be a better way to do this and to still do it in a way where we preserve the personal brand of beauty professionals, because a lot of the sites out there, it's almost like everyone is, you lose that sense of your personal brand, which you've taken time to build through social, with marketplaces, right? Because your goal as a marketplace is to make everything as easy to understand as possible. But on the other hand, a lot of beauty professionals take a lot of time to create their personal brand and their brand identity, and they don't want to let go of that. So we find that, they end up, building their brand and then losing that. And we wanted to find a way where you can still have your personal brand, have a website that represents you, but also still gain clients and also deliver an amazing experience to your potential clients.
Yeah, for sure. Because I saw that on Readyhubb, you can kind of customize it to still keep your personal branding, so everything is still cohesive when people come over to the site and everything. Yeah, and it's still free to join.
Yeah, still free and always will be free. So, that's something that's really important, is there's so many people who want to have a reliable tool, but don't necessarily have the funds to pay or are still up and coming. So free to join, free to use, and then you can always upgrade if you need more features to power your business.
Got you. Do you have any suggestions for how people can stand out on the app as the app continues to grow with more users and more people in the same city and everything like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the number one thing is having amazing photos that represent your work, like taking time to just have quality pictures so clients can discover your business, because clients are looking at the photo and then clicking on your business page. So that's the number one thing. Another thing is having a welcoming bio that people can read and feel like excited to book with you. And so that's something I love, is when I read a beauty professional's profile and she just seems like such a good time, you know what to expect with the vibe, and you can then pick the beauty professional that works for you based on the energy that they're putting out. And so I really, really like when I read someone's profile and they just have a welcoming bio that represents them, their business, and their brand. And lastly, we have this really cool feature. It's an inspiration page. And so you can actually post pictures of your work on the Readyhubb inspiration page. So it's similar to Pinterest, where you post pictures of your work and clients in your city can, do a quick search, book the look, right? And click on the service related to that picture and book it. And I think that's really a cool way to stand out.
Yes, I love that. I'm a Pinterest junkie. So when you said Pinterest, I'm like, yes, that's totally me. So on the app, people get to set their own prices too.
Yeah, set your prices, set your availability, manage your business how you want, right? So you get to run your business based on what works for you, and we're just here to support you.
Yeah. What kind of service providers do you have on there? I know it's probably a ton of makeup artists and hairstylists, but what other service providers do you have on there?
Yeah, so our largest category is hairstylists. We also have makeup artists, nail techs. I'm starting to see a lot of bridal services, which is really cool. And then we're also starting to see a lot of home services. So, things like, mobile, like mobile massage therapy. I
Okay.
saw an auto technician the other day. I was like, what? Like,
Okay.
anything that you can book appointments, any service that you can book based on appointments, you can find on ReadyHub. But our primary focus is the beauty community and is the beauty industry.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So you can book anything on there. I I have to be honest, I'm not a person that uses booking sites right now because I don't know why. I know why, but I want to see what you think. So I'm in DC, but I'm in the
Mhm.
DMV area. So for me, as the service provider, I feel like it's just easier for me to talk to people because I travel to my clients and sometimes they're in Maryland, sometimes they're in Virginia, sometimes they're in DC, and that can affect like the pricing. And I
Mhm.
feel like if somebody were to book me on a booking site, then they might be like, "Oh yes, I'm in, I don't know, DC, but they're really in Maryland." And then now I got to travel an hour out, and that would make a difference. I don't know. I haven't gotten into the
No,
booking
we
sites.
No, so we fixed that problem. We have this thing where we check the location of your client. So based on, you're able to kind of add your location as a client, and based on that, so you provide mobile services,
Hmm.
you set your prices based on the range of where the client is. So, hey, you're 20 miles from me, it's this cost. You're this amount of miles from me, it's this cost. So you can set those prices.
Gotcha.
Um, we also will let a client know if they're out of your range. So if you say like, hey, I'm not booking any clients that are not in DC, for example, then if someone tries to book you outside of that range, they won't be able to. So
Right.
you can set, certain settings for your business and try to control that traffic as much as possible.
Okay, look, she tried to sell me. Okay, I'm just download the app, girl. So also, can you attach multiple calendars to your Ready Hub?
Yeah, so you can link your calendar to Google, iCloud. You can sync your calendar. We have all of those features as well. So it's really just to help you be more organized. If you need to pull in your appointments from other systems as well, you can do that with ReadyHub.
Got you. 'Cause that's always another concern of mine too, is because I have like my regular makeup stuff, but then I also have the podcast. So I have two
Mhm.
different calendars. So I'm like, if it's always in my head. I'm like, I just need to talk to the people because like I don't have my that's how I am. Let me just talk to you because I don't have my podcast calendar and my regular calendar. So I'm like, if I could attach both of them and then could check both calendars for my availability, then that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And the good thing is, listen, we're growing, right? So if you say, hey, like I really need this feature
Hmm.
and we have enough people that need something, we will build it because we are building for beauty professionals. We want you to have a more seamless experience. Another thing is, like I said, we have full-time support. So if you're like, hey, listen, I need someone to help me like move all my services, move all my contacts. I need some help with setting up my profile. Hey, the other day we were making Canva posts for someone who needed help with like creating like mini promotion stuff for Instagram.
Yeah.
Listen, send it to us. We'll help you do it. We really just want you to have a stress-free time running your business because it
Yeah.
is hard work running a business. And, a lot of people come into it and a lot of people looking out don't see how much effort it takes to run a business and how unpredictable things can be,
Yeah.
right? And so that's something that I'm really passionate about is like, how can we make as many people as possible have stability of their income and be able to kind of reach their goals financially? And that's really why we're here.
Yeah, and I love what the app is doing too because just amongst beauty professionals, we all know that we suck at business. Like that's just like a common conversation that we all have. Is like we are very creative people. We know how to do hair, we know how to do nails and makeup, but when it comes to that business side and keeping those invoices and the money together, is normally very it's terrible. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't see the type of growth and sustain their businesses the way that they want, or they're experiencing tons of burnout, is because of course we're trying to do everything, but they just don't have the systems in place to really do those things. But using apps like ReadyHub, where all of those things are kind of built in for you, it just takes it's like
Right.
it takes the stress off, and it helps a lot for beauty professionals for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you don't have a paper trail for yourself and for your business, how do you participate in the economy, right?
Mhm.
Long term, like you want to buy a house someday, you want to, get a loan, get whatever the case may be, you want to build a life long term. It's very difficult to do that if you aren't running your business in a systematic way. But I would argue that I don't think a lot of beauty professionals don't have the ability to do it. I just don't think they have the capacity, right? Like
Mhm.
you're already doing so much.
Yeah.
And if you think about it in a traditional business, most businesses have multiple people doing different things. Like
Yeah.
you got the customer support, you got the accountant, you got the social media manager. And then, essentially you have to do everything. You have to find the time to do everything.
Yeah.
How does that work? And then on top of that, you have to still live your life. Um, and so that is where I'm passionate about, is like how are you finding the time to do it all?
Yeah.
So that's really where I think a lot of beauty professionals, if you have a system in place, if you have, software that can help you take that stress away, and also just create structure in your business, clients will also respect you for it. And you can, over time, elevate your business, elevate your pricing, because clients are also seeing the structure. And in this day and age, you also get to stand out, right? Because clients are looking for an easy booking experience, an easy service experience. And so the beauty professionals that provide that seamless experience from the time of booking to when I get in your chair, if
Yeah.
you can just deliver amazing experience, people will pay. So I'm starting to see a lot of service providers who are doing that, where they're providing like luxe services, because people are like, listen, if I have to pay the premium, let me just pay that premium and not have to deal with the stress, right?
Yeah.
And so there is something that comes with that structure, that being organized, and formalizing your business.
Yeah, for sure. And it just feels safer on the client side. It just feels like you're going to get what you paid for, and that the person's going to show up for your appointment. They have a lot of concerns when it comes to us. But how many users do you have now on the app?
So we
Sorry,
currently
service.
have We currently have 50,000 users, and that's split between clients and professionals and growing. So I'm really excited about that, because a year ago, we had like what, 50 users? If I look this like around last year, we did not have a lot of users, and it's been a journey to grow that user base. So it's really exciting to see how things are just growing so quickly. And right now we're experiencing almost like a 50% month to month growth with our user base.
Wow. Okay. So what do you think is contributing to that growth on the consumer side and on the professional side?
Yeah, on the professional side, we're seeing a lot of professionals come in and get excited about using the app, and they're inviting their clients to use ReadyHub, right? And to book them on ReadyHub. And that's been amazing. We're also seeing a lot of professionals sharing and talking about ReadyHub, and we're building a community of beauty professionals who want to deliver amazing service, right?
Yeah.
And then on the client side, clients are excited about having a stress-free way to book professionals.
Mhm.
Like they don't want to have to deal with the hassle or the stress and that anxiety that you mentioned earlier of not knowing if I'm going to book this person and is she going to run away with my deposit, or I'm going to book this person and, I'm not going to get what I expected, right? Because
Yeah.
let's be honest, social media and Instagram followers doesn't translate to good service. right?
Right.
And people are becoming more aware of that. Is like, just because you have a following doesn't mean I'm going to get what I'm trying to book.
Right.
And with Readyhubb, what we want to do is spotlight the people that do amazing work and spotlight beauty professionals based on merit, right? So that people can be seen and it's not just about your followers. Followers is great and that's an amazing thing to achieve. And yes, building your personal brand, I can never discount that. It has a lot of merit in this day and age, right? To have, socials that you can attract followers and people can follow your personal brand. But you don't just want to rely on social media for your business, right?
Yeah.
TikTok could go anywhere, any day, right?
Yeah.
And how do you engage with your clients outside of social? That's important, right? If I wanted to build a mailing list, if I wanted to take my clients outside of social and be able to interact with them on a deeper level, how do I do that and keep them coming back? Am I able to track my repeat customers? That's also important, right? Because if you have a really good base of repeat clients, you don't have to stress about constantly marketing yourself. So that's what we're really like focusing on, is helping beauty professionals understand how to run your business and how to get to the money, get to the bag.
Yes, I love that. I think that's probably why I haven't downloaded those apps yet either, because I don't want any more customers. I don't want any more new clients. I've been doing makeup for 11 years, so I have like my regulars. But have you experienced or heard anybody talk about any pushback with people having to download the app if they're not already like in that ecosystem already? Because I know for me personally, I hate apps. Like anytime I have
Right.
to download another app, I'm just like, oh my God, like another app. So I feel like if somebody were to tell me to download this app to book them, I would be like, oh my God, do you have a website? Like, is there another way? Because my phone, the way the storage be having me in a chokehold, like I be deleting apps all the time just to like free up storage on my phone. Has there
Of
been any
course.
pushback with like downloading another app to the phone?
Yeah, I mean, so the good thing is that your clients don't have to download the app to book you.
Okay.
They can just click on the link in your Instagram profile and just book you on the web. So we definitely don't want your clients to have to jump through hoops just to book an appointment. So clients can do that on the web. For professionals, we recommend you to download the app because it's what you're going to use to manage your business, is what you're going to use to collect payments. And we want this app to be the holy grail of apps. We want you to delete all the other apps. Okay, so get rid of all the other apps and have the Readyhubb app, and use that as kind of like your go-to, right? And the idea is that over time, you can use it for every aspect of your business. And then you get rid of the other stuff that, because a lot of professionals are dealing with the email inbox. I'm getting text messages. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There's a lot of different things going on. But if you can have a one-stop shop. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to declutter your experience. I'm trying to sell you, girl. I want you to
No,
get
yeah, she got a
basically like,
solution for everything. I'm like, I love it.
no, I want you to be like, okay, let me get on this app. But I get you, if you have a loyal clientele, Readyhubb can be used to just manage your existing booking, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to participate in the marketplace if you don't want to.
Yeah, I like that. There was an idea. I've talked to another app developer before on the show. She has another app. But I had this idea, but I'll tell you the idea since I have you here. I had this idea after I talked to her. I don't know how many people are still having this concern with like people not showing up. There are tons
Yeah,
of people like no call, no shows, clients and makeup artists or the service providers on the other side. But I was like, it would be cool that like if inside of the app there was a feature where you could like share your location. Like if you're on your way to the appointment, there's like a button that you can push so that it could like track you like
right. Oh
up
my
to
God,
the
I love
door. Because
that.
people really
Listen.
be, I have clients before who have booked me last minute. This happened one time. This client booked me last minute and she had DM'd me or something like, or text, no, she texted me. She texted me at like 11 something. And her appointment was at
Right,
7 o'clock in the morning. Girl, I'm asleep. Okay. I'll see it when I wake up. But because I didn't respond to her, she was nervous because she had somebody like do that before, like not show up for her. So she like refunded, like requested a refund for her deposit and everything. And then when I
right,
showed up in the morning, she was like, oh my God, I thought you were going to come. That's why I did
right.
all of that. But I was like, you messaged me at 11 o'clock. Like, That's another thing that's a disconnect between clients and professionals. Like everybody else has their business hours. Why are you messaging me at 11 o'clock at night and expecting me to answer? But I
Right,
digress.
exactly.
But a lot
No,
of people are
I
really
love
concerned
that
about
idea.
people like not showing up. So I'm like, if there's a way to like just reassure them again, like push this button when you're on your way and it can like really track them and see where they are, I think that would like really calm people's spirits.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I know it would calm my spirit because sometimes I'm like, oh Lord, like what is gonna happen? There is that anxiety. So anyway, any way to be just extra transparent, I think is really cool. So listen, I will be messaging you if we decide to include this
Yes.
in the app. And I also like what you said about the business hours because you know that the idea of not being able to shut off and not being able to just have your downtime without getting the calls and the texts is a big issue, you know? And also for clients, you're kind of like, you know, you don't recognize that, hey, like this is a business. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes clients miss that this person is operating as a business and has those set business hours. You know, and that's something that needs to be addressed is how do I create and form almost like an entity that operates as a business. And, you know, so I'm really excited about like AI and how that plays into it, you know,
Yeah.
because AI is an amazing solution for something like that. And that's something we're exploring where imagine if you could have like an AI virtual assistant. So when you get messages, you know, the AI bot can respond to your clients, but in your type of tone and your type of
My
voice.
AI bot would be like, girl, now you know it is midnight and you know I'm asleep. What you need?
Exactly. Like you can imagine if you could like set up how you want your brand to communicate and
Yeah.
the AI bot can be like, yes, it's 11 and I will be there, right? And you don't
Yes.
have to stress about anything.
Yes, I love it. How long did it take for you to develop the app from the time that you had the idea to actually like launch day going
Yeah,
live?
I mean, honestly, it's been almost 2.5 to 3 years of just developing, putting the concept together, doing a lot of research, you know. So whenever you're going into a new space, really putting yourself in the shoes of who you are building for in that community. And so that was something that took a lot of time. Just speaking to as many beauty professionals as possible,
Yeah.
understanding day to day, you know, participating with beauty professionals in their day to day and kind of shadowing what they're doing. So those were some of the things that we did before launching the application. So it's been a long time coming. I'm really excited about just being able to like push the application and see the reaction. And there's so much room for growth as well. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for all that we can do.
Yeah, for sure. I know apps cost a lot of money. So like for this to be free to join, I know you said people can like upgrade for other to unlock other features. Yes, to unlock other features on the app. But how does an app developer, someone like you, make money from having an app?
Yeah, I mean, so we do have a freemium model. So you can use the app for free, upgrade, and that's one way. And then we also have the marketplace, right? So we are pushing that now where if we are bringing you clients, then we are taking a percentage of that, whatever that might be when it launches. And so that's going to be another way where we want to start doing marketing on your behalf, right? Where you don't have to stress about that and we can start driving clients to you. And we're really focused now on doing what we need to do to get as many clients through the app booking beauty professionals. And so
Yeah.
that's the next step for us.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you from?
Me, so I was born in Canada and I actually grew up in South Africa. I lived in New York. Now I'm living in Dubai, so from everywhere. And
Oh,
I'm Nigerian as well.
were your parents like diplomats or something?
No, my parents were just business owners. So I'm from a family of entrepreneurs and we just happen to move around a little bit.
Love it. So what was your first entrepreneurial endeavor?
So I started in this was in high school. But yeah, this was in high school. I used to take notes during class and I would sell my notes. Like I would create like these little note cards for different subjects, and I would just get as much information as possible. I would, make the information as short and easy to understand as possible for people. And I would create like exam notes, and people started buying those. So that was one of my first real endeavors that lasted like a year.
I love that. Coming from an entrepreneurial like family, it's like you go always find a way to make the money. Like it's a
Right.
opportunity somewhere, somehow.
Right. I used to tell my friends, like when I was younger, I used to say, I'm going to be a billionaire. I always used to be like, I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. And if you ask anyone who knew me like 10 years ago, I was always that girl that was like so confident of like, I'm going to start my business. I'm going to do great things. And I was just always, and a lot of people see it as delusion, like, but to be honest with you, delusion has gotten me very far in life.
Yeah.
I am confidently delusional about anything that I'm working on. I feel like I live in a state of like, this thing has already happened, and I am just like riding the wave until I get to where I'm going. And I'm just putting in the hard work until I get there. And, I feel like that has helped me in my previous business, building Lux Tribes, and also now building Readyhubb, because it takes a lot of grit to build a business of any caliber, right? And you have to be able to see the vision, even though no one else sees it. When I was building Lux Tribes and I would try to, tell people what I'm doing, no one really understood, like, okay, you want to build a travel company and bring strangers together to travel. It was, it was a bit odd. Okay.
Yeah. And now other people are doing it.
Exactly. And so many people are doing it now, and it's become like a thing. But back then it wasn't really a thing to like group travel as much as it is now. It wasn't really a thing to not just build a travel company, but do it on a scale. Right now we have over 30 employees. I've scaled Lux Tribes to over 20 million in revenue. It takes a certain level of commitment and grit to build a business at that level. And there's so many cycles that you have to go through, and stages that you have to go through to build a business. And, now coming back to Readyhubb, I feel like, I built a successful business, and now I'm in a new industry, and I'm relearning, when you think and you think you got the secret sauce, and then you're like, oh, wait a second, I don't know what I'm doing. And so that has been interesting.
Yeah. Have you been able to take, I guess, some of the lessons or some of the things that you can apply in Lux Tribes to the new business with Readyhubb, like some of the same business concepts, I guess?
Yeah, of course. I feel like if you are a second-time founder, you come into it with a lot of confidence, right, in yourself, because you've been able to build something from scratch successfully. Even if it's a different industry, you have that confidence in yourself of like, I will figure it out. And so what I have taken from Lux Tribes to Readyhubb is just being a lot more headstrong. So there's so much that is so different about running a tech company. The cost of running a tech company is significant, right? The figuring out the market and building something, and then finding out like, hey, no one cares about this, and having to go back to the drawing board. So you have to be absolutely headstrong and have a belief in yourself. And that's something I've taken over. And just also building teams, like knowing how to build the right team around whatever it is you're trying to do is something that I've carried over, of like knowing the type of people that I work well with, the type of people that you need to get you to a certain stage, because running a business, you need different types of people for different stages. So when you're getting off the ground, you need people who are going to be absolutely gritty and absolutely passionate, and be the type of people that will wake up at any time and get things done. And then as you grow, you need people who are specializing in certain things, right? So they're not necessarily going to be the ones that are doing it all, and that's okay. So that's another thing that I've been able to take with me as I've moved over to Readyhubb.
For sure. As a Black woman in tech now, what kind of challenges have you come across with developing the app?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the fact that, fundraising for Black women. So, I believe it's like less than 0.3% of Black women or Black founders get funding. for venture capital, right? And so if you think about the fact that there are billions of dollars that are going towards investment into tech companies, and we are less than 0.3%, that is absolutely crazy. So, that is a challenge, right? Of being able to survive, right?
Yeah.
In a capital intensive, industry, right? And so up until date, we have been completely self-funded and
Wow.
completely bootstrapped, and we're going to be bootstrapped until we're able to secure funding. And so that's the next hurdle, is really starting to speak to investors and, starting to build a community that can help us get to where we need to go. But till then, we got this on lock, and we're just really focused on building.
Wow, that means that you really built something incredible with your first business to be able to self-fund this one. Have you all ever done grants or anything like that? Can you get grants?
Oh, no, we haven't. So to date, completely self-funded. We haven't had any grants or any loans or anything. So just us kind of pushing through. And when I say us, I mean myself and my co-founder.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, I'm really into grants right now. Like, I won a grant. Oh, I just announced it like 2 weeks ago that I just won another grant, but I'm like really into grants right now. So I'm just like grants, I'm telling everybody like about grants, like grants,
Right,
because there's so many grants out there for women in particular, like Black women. It doesn't matter what industry you're in,
right,
and there's like money out there. So
right.
I'm
And
tired of using my own money.
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
That's
just tired of
amazing.
using my own money to do things because
Right,
it's hard. Like you mentioned earlier, I'm a full-time makeup artist. So for me to do the podcast, my clients, I host networking events for friends in beauty, live podcasts. It's hard for me to just take all the money that I'm earning to like put
right.
like to continue. Like the growth isn't as fast as I want it to be because I'm using my own money. So I'm just like, let me get some other people's money and do this thing.
Of course. And that's how the world works. That's how businesses grow. So never be shy about that. And congratulations
Thank
on,
you.
getting that grant. And yes, I believe that. I believe that if you really want to get to the next level, you need to be able to kind of get buy-in. And what that looks like is, bringing people on that can be amazing advisors to you, bringing people on that can, contribute in terms of funding as well, and having access to that. So, wherever you can do that, do that. And that's our next step in terms of the Readyhubb journey.
Yeah, I would love just to know or how you keep or how you develop your mindset as a businesswoman to be able to operate two successful businesses and 20 million. Like that's like crazy for Lux Tribes. Like, how do you develop your mindset and sustain your mindset in order to keep your businesses flowing? Because I know money mindset is a huge thing. I do money mindset like affirmations all the time,
Yeah,
just trying to like reprogram myself and like how I think about money. Like
right.
how do you incorporate those things into your life?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, one of the most important things that I remind myself when it gets hard, because it's always going to, no matter what you're doing, it's going to get hard, is I want the audacity to have a 1% life, right? And if you want the audacity to live that life, you have to be willing to take whatever comes with that. You have to be willing to put in the work and, get in the pit if you need to, get it done. And
Yeah.
so I try to maintain that mindset of like, first of all, appreciation for what I have accomplished, right? And the little steps that I'm taking, and then putting on that cap of like, I'm not going to get where I need to go if I'm not operating at the level of the 1%. And when I say 1%, I mean is keeping that headstrong mindset to push for whatever it is that you're looking for and to be able to have the very best. And so for me, the mindset is everything. So I love that you're doing the money mindset and so on. The mindset is everything. And then another thing is like understanding that money comes and goes, right? And not having such a tough, like a hard attachment to money
Yeah.
and potentially losing money, right? But just, having more of a passion for what you're doing and then letting the money come naturally. Because, nowadays a lot of people are trying to make things work that are not necessarily for them,
Yeah.
right? And that's where the stress comes in. Like, yes, you can have stress doing what you love, but you're doing what you love. And so naturally it's exciting, right? And you feel like you're building something, but you can feel stressed when you're trying to make something work that isn't for you. And
Mm.
so, having let go of the idea of money and follow what you're passionate about. That's
Yeah.
number one. And that will lead you to where you need to be. So I've never stressed about money because I'm following my passion, I'm following my purpose, I'm doing what I love, I'm building a community around what I love, and the money will come naturally. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, I'm putting in the work to be part of that 1%. And I'm having that audacity to say, I'm going to get there. And so that's how, I push myself to where I need to go to.
Yes, I love that. You just mentioned something that I did want to ask you about, which was building community, because that's essentially what I'm doing is building community with friends in beauty. But like, what have you intentionally done to build community with like Readyhubb and Lux Tribes? And then how does that community in turn like contribute to the success of the brands?
Yeah. So if you're building a community, a lot of people start building communities and you're asking for something, right? So you're building a community and you're trying to sell, sell, sell. Take a step back and give value, right?
Mhm.
Focus on giving as much value to that community, right? And build without the expectation of, right? And so what that looks like is when I started Lux Tribes, for example, I was putting out a lot of travel content with the intention of just helping other Black women who wanted to travel, right?
Yeah.
And so because I had taken my time to develop a community by giving value by being a resource that people wanted to come to, right, when they needed travel advice or travel expertise or inspiration, naturally, when I decided to monetize that and build a travel business off of that, everything just happened with ease, right?
Gotcha.
And so when you're doing things based on your passion, when you decide to monetize it, it will come with ease. It's not going to feel, if you're worrying about selling, then there is a problem there, right? You should not have to worry about overselling. And in this day and age, people can spot when someone is fake and phony,
Yep.
or when someone is just trying to sell, 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 and people spot that and people run away from that. And so, same with Readyhubb is like, how can we give as much value to the beauty community on both sides, right? And that's what I'm focused on now. And so we're in progress of building our community with Readyhubb, but right now I'm focused on giving as much value and learning from, and not assuming that I know, but letting the community guide us in terms of where we're going next.
Yes, I love that. Then you're over in Dubai.
Mhm.
So on the business side, what does that look like with you operating two businesses and having to communicate with your team and, all of those things on a different time zone, I would imagine.
Yeah, so what it looks like is a lot of late nights and just building a team, but building a team internationally, right? And so that's been exciting. I love remote work, and I'm a very big supporter of building remote teams. But it also looks like a lot of flights to the US. So not being exclusively in Dubai, but using Dubai as a base to do all the things that we need to do, and then building that remote team out.
Yes. Oh my God. This has been such a great conversation. Like how have you been successfully harmonizing married life, business, baby? Like, how's that going?
Ooh, oh my gosh. I mean, everyone tells you what to expect. But until you're really, in it, it feels like you don't know. It's like a whole other world that you're stepping into. And so it's been a challenge, when you're a business owner, you don't get the full maternity leave. And even if you do take a maternity leave, you're in the back of your mind, you're thinking about your business, because your
Yeah.
business is also your baby, right?
Mhm.
So that has been a challenge for me, just trying to figure out the best schedule. And that's been really what I've been focusing on, is like, how can I build a schedule that incorporates both businesses, incorporates my child, incorporates my marriage. Another thing is just having an amazing support system. So, having a husband that gets it. If you have a partner that wants to see you succeed and just wants to help your life be as easy and comfortable as possible, then you feel comfortable to just step into, whatever it is you're doing and give your 100%. And so I'm grateful that, I have a husband who is just pushing me as much as he can. And then just building other systems in terms of getting help, having family, and so on. So that's been really, my saving grace this year. And then just figuring it out. I don't have the answers for that one, but
Right.
I'm working on it.
Yes, I love it. Okay. So at the end of the day, like, what do you want your legacy to be with Readyhubb in particular, with bringing this to the market?
Yeah, I mean, for me, one thing that I really want us to do in the next decade, I see Readyhubb being the staple platform for booking appointment-based services and creating a seamless booking experience for both sides. So both for professionals who are running businesses by themselves, creating a seamless way for you to manage all aspects of your business. And then on the client side, creating a seamless booking experience where you can enjoy the services without the anxiety. And I think in terms of the legacy, I want to be able to build something that touches business owners globally. And when I say touches, I mean is an integral part of helping business owners achieve income stability and be able to do what they love without the stress of marketing themselves and without the stress of the operations that it takes to do that. And I feel like that's a space that is often overlooked. The solopreneur is often overlooked. And I know that because I've been in those shoes, right? I've run a business and had to do everything. And it's not sustainable to think that you can do the payments, do the support, do all the stuff. You need systems. And a lot of people can't afford to pile on the systems as a solo business owner. And so I want to be able to build something that is a key part of how people can earn a living doing what they love.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything that's coming up next for Readyhubb that you could share?
Yeah, I mean, so up next for us, remember I talked about AI, of like, how can AI help professionals continue to maximize in terms of, responding to clients, managing schedules and so on. So that's going to be an amazing thing that we're going to tap into. And then also just building more around, helping professionals reach new clients, whether that's like the Pinterest feature that I mentioned, being able to scale that. And then also helping professionals build their personal brand. So how can we provide tools that can help you build a personal brand and earn more? So we have a cool feature coming out also called products. So you can actually sell your products through your booking site and have a dedicated website for products as well. So I'm excited about that.
She done thought of everything, y'all. I think we gotta download the app. I think we gotta download it. She thought of everything.
Let me know if you are sold, because
This sounds fantastic. Well, before you go, because I love this conversation, I had to ask you the Friends of Beauty rapid fire questions. I think this would be perfect because you have two brands that are doing well. So the first one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
So for me, audacity, like I said, hard work, and just being as adaptable as possible.
Yeah, audacity, hard work, and being adaptable. How do you measure your success?
I measure, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. For me right now, I'm measuring my success by how excited I feel to wake up the next day. Like, I know that I am doing something amazing when I'm like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. You know, when you have a flight booked the next day and you're like, you have your clothes ready and you're ready to go, you just want to be out. Like, I measure my success by that feeling of like being excited to wake up and get going the next day.
I love it. What's the best advice you've ever received, or just a piece of advice that just like always sticks with you?
Yeah. For me, that is, don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be or haven't walked that path. A lot of times you get advice from so many different corners and so many different people, but if they haven't done the thing that you're trying to do, take that advice with a grain of salt, right? Because, advice comes from different perspectives and, not all advice is relevant.
Yep. Yep. Okay. What advice would you give to another brand owner right now who is just having difficulty in their business and they're just like, I'm just going to give this up. Maybe it's not worth it.
For me, the risk of just doing it, and I always look at like, what do I have to gain versus what I have to lose? And I always look at that upside. So if you're someone who is stressed and you're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, think about the upside. Think about everything that you have to gain from just continuing down the path. If you believe that it's your passion, just keep going down that path, because there is so much that you get to unlock by just stepping into that fully.
Yeah, for sure. What's a resource that helps you or has helped you in your business that you could share with the Friends in Beauty community?
In my business, one thing that I have been really loving is tapping into more like communities. So I love the Friends in Beauty community. Finding communities of people that can be supportive when you're having problems. And so that's something that I have been really focused on now, is like, tapping into tech communities, entrepreneurship communities, and so on, and joining those and really participating, not just being part of a community for what you can get out, but also what you can give, right? So understanding that it is an exchange is important. So I really, I'm noticing that in my journey, I can't do everything alone. And I do need support. And so, tapping into communities, whether it's through Facebook groups or, out through social media or whatever the case may be, that for me has been, super instrumental.
Absolutely. So the last one, I just want you to fill in the blank and repeat this statement and just say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank, like whatever you think it is. So my name is blank, Chidi, and the key to longevity and success is blank.
So my name is Chidi Ashley, and the key to success and longevity is following your passion and never giving up on it.
Yes, I love this. Has been such a great conversation. I feel like I learned a lot about that side. Like, even though I've talked to other app developers, like I'm really excited about Readyhubb, like really excited. Before you go, please share any social media or website, however you want people to continue to connect with you, Readyhubb, your businesses, whatever you want to share.
Of course. So connect with me personally at Chidi Ashley on Instagram and TikTok, and connect with Readyhubb at readyhubb.com. If you're a beauty professional, list your business. We want to see you. We want to help you. List your business at readyhubb.com, and you can always reach out if you need extra support or resources for your business.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I love the conversation. I'm really excited about it.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.